The digital world, a place of connection and innovation, yet it also harbors shadows. Lurking within these shadows are groups like Black Basta. They are not your typical street criminals. No, these are sophisticated cyber predators operating as a ransomware as a service, or RAS enterprise. Throughout 2024 and into 2025, their name has become synonymous with digital paralysis. They've carved out a reputation for ruthless efficiency. Their actions are calculated, their impact devastating. We've investigated many threats, but Black Basta operates with a chilling precision that demands our full attention. They are a clear and present danger in our interconnected society, a formidable force in the dark web of cybercrime. Who do these digital extortionists target? Their playbook is disturbingly clear. They set their sights on the most vulnerable, the most critical sectors of our society. We're talking about healthcare facilities, the very places we turn to for healing and life-saving care. They attack manufacturing plants, disrupting supply chains and economies. Critical infrastructure, the systems that keep our lights on and water flowing, are also in their crosshairs. Nor do they shy away from legal firms or financial institutions. Anywhere sensitive data and a desperate need for operational continuity exist. It's a strategy designed to maximize pressure, to force a quick and hefty payout from organizations that simply cannot afford to be offline. Their method is a cruel 1-2 punch known as double extortion. First, they slither into a victim's network unseen. Then they encrypt vital data, locking organizations out of their own systems. Imagine a hospital unable to access patient records or a factory brought to a standstill. But it doesn't end there. Oh no, that's just the first turn of the screw. Before they deploy their crippling ransomware, they steal copious amounts of sensitive information. This stolen data then becomes a second weapon. Pay up to get your systems back, they demand. And pay us again or we release your private files, your trade secrets, your patient histories to the world. It's a brutal tactic designed to leave victims feeling trapped with no way out. Where did this menace come from? Black Basta first crept onto the scene around April 2022. Cybersecurity experts believe it has strong ties to, or perhaps even evolved from, the notorious Conti ransomware group, another digital crime syndicate that caused widespread havoc. Some researchers also link them to FIN7, a financially motivated threat group known for its cunning and persistence. This isn't some amateur operation, this is organized crime, gone digital. Their tentacles reach globally, with confirmed attacks impacting organizations across North America, Europe, and Australia. They are a sophisticated, well-resourced enemy, and they are actively hunting. How do these predators gain entry? Black Basta's tactics have sharpened significantly, especially through 2024. Initially, they might have relied more heavily on botnets like the infamous CAC to infiltrate systems, but like any cunning adversary, they've evolved. Now they employ a hybrid model, blending their technical prowess with sophisticated social engineering. They understand that the human element can often be the weakest link in any security chain. They prey on trust, on urgency, on the everyday routines of unsuspecting employees. This adaptation makes them even more dangerous, more unpredictable. They are constantly refining their methods, looking for that one crack to slip through. Let's break down some of their deceptive maneuvers. They've been known to use email bombing. Imagine your inbox suddenly flooded with thousands of subscription confirmations. It's designed to overwhelm you, to distract your security teams. While you're sifting through the digital noise, they make their real move. They might contact employees directly through Microsoft Teams, impersonating IT support staff. There's an urgent issue with your system, they'll say, their tonal business. Then they'll pressure the employee into installing legitimate remote access software, tools like AnyDesk, Screen Connect, TeamViewer, or even Microsoft's own Quick Assist. Once that door is open, they're in. Their cunning extends to other tricks as well. They've been observed sending malicious QR codes. You scan it with your phone, thinking it's for a menu or a legitimate service. Instead, it might steal your login credentials or direct you to a compromised website teeming with malware. It's a simple yet effective ploy in an increasingly mobile-centric world. And on the more technical side, they leverage tools like the OpenSSH client. This allows them to establish reverse shells, creating a persistent backdoor into the victim's network. This isn't just about brute force, it's about guile and technical sophistication, exploiting both human psychology and system vulnerabilities. Black Basta's operators are also voracious consumers of vulnerability information. Leaked internal chat logs, a rare glimpse into their shadowy world, have revealed a chilling reality. They discuss newly discovered security flaws, or CVEs, often within days of advisories being published. They prioritize vulnerabilities that have publicly available exploit code, making their job easier. One of the most referenced flaws in their discussions was CVE 2024-3400, a critical zero-day vulnerability in Palo Alto Network's PAN-OS. They've also exploited well-known issues like proxy not shell in Microsoft Exchange and the Zerologen flaw. Sometimes they even discuss vulnerabilities before they are officially published, suggesting access to insider information or advanced research capabilities. What kind of digital weaponry does Black Basta deploy? Their arsenal is extensive and constantly updated. For initial access and to drop their malicious payloads, they've historically used CACbot. But they also employ other malware like Zbot, also known as Zloader, and Darkgate for follow-on attacks, ensuring redundancy and flexibility. More recently, security researchers have identified custom-made droppers in their toolkit. One such tool is NotWrap, a memory-only dropper written in C/C++. Another is DawnCry, also a memory-only dropper which decrypts embedded resources. These custom tools are designed to be stealthy, evading traditional antivirus detection by operating directly in the system's memory. Once inside, they need tools for execution and reconnaissance. Here again, we see bespoke malware. NotRock, a net-based utility, is specifically designed for executing the ransomware payload itself. Before they encrypt, they need to know what they're dealing with. For this, they use tools like CogScan, another net-based reconnaissance tool. CogScan helps them enumerate network hosts, map out the victim's environment, and identify high-value targets for encryption and data theft. This systematic approach allows them to maximize damage and pinpoint the most critical assets, increasing their leverage during ransom negotiations. It's a cold, calculated survey of the digital battlefield. To maintain control and communicate with their compromised systems, Black Basta relies on established command and control (C2) frameworks and tunneling tools. Portyard is one of their custom tunnelers, used to establish connections back to their C2 servers, often hidden deep within the internet. They're also frequent users of Cobalt Strike, a powerful penetration testing tool often abused by malicious actors for its extensive capabilities in maintaining access and moving laterally within a network. Add to this list tools like SystemBC and Netcat, and you have a robust infrastructure for managing their attacks and exfiltrating data silently, often right under the noses of unsuspecting network defenders. Perhaps one of their most insidious tactics is the abuse of legitimate system administration and IT support tools. This helps them blend in with normal network traffic, making their malicious activities much harder to detect. We're talking about tools like BitsAdmin for file transfers, Mimikatz for stealing credentials, rclone for data exfiltration to cloud storage, and PowerShell or psexec for executing commands remotely. Even remote access software like SplashTop, Screen Connect, Quick Assist, and Net Support Manager are twisted for their nefarious purposes. They also use tools like Evil Proxy for phishing and Backstab for defense evasion, showcasing a comprehensive approach to overcoming security measures. Let's walk through their typical modus operandi, the step-by-step playbook of paralysis. It often begins with phishing, a carefully crafted email, perhaps with a malicious link or an attachment disguised as an invoice or an important document. Or they might exploit one of those known vulnerabilities we discussed earlier. Once they gain that initial foothold, their next move is to establish persistence. They achieve this by creating auto-run entries or scheduled tasks, ensuring their malware survives a system reboot. Then they work to evade defenses, often using PowerShell scripts to disable critical security software like Windows Defender, effectively blinding the system to their presence. With their foothold secured and defenses down, the attackers begin to move laterally across the network. They use tools like Cobalt Strike beacons to explore, seeking out valuable data and critical systems. Credential dumping is a key phase. Using Mimikatz, they harvest usernames and passwords, escalating their privileges to gain administrative control. Their operational goals are clear. Quickly enumerate the environment, steal VPN configuration files to maintain access, and even bypass multi-factor authentication. Before deploying the ransomware, they exfiltrate sensitive data using tools like Reclone and WinSCP, shipping it off to their own servers. This is the data they'll later use for their double extortion threats. The final act of destruction is swift and brutal. Black Basta operators will delete shadow copies of files using the utility, making recovery much more difficult. They may even reboot systems into safe mode using to bypass security tools that don't run in that state. Then the encryption begins. Files are locked using the strong ChaCha20 algorithm, with the encryption key itself protected by an even stronger RSA 4096 algorithm. The desktop background is often changed, file icons altered, and ransom notes, typically named or are dropped across the compromised systems detailing their demands. The impact is immediate. Operations grind to a halt. Hospitals cancel surgeries, factories shut down production lines, critical services are disrupted. The human cost is immense. As of late 2024, over 500 organizations globally had fallen victim. Insights gleaned from their leaked chat logs paint a disturbing picture of their criminal mindset. These aren't random attacks, they are highly targeted. Black Basta prioritizes high-revenue companies, believing that hitting fewer, more lucrative targets will yield greater profits than widespread, smaller attacks. They specifically look for vulnerabilities in widely adopted enterprise technologies, Microsoft products, Citrix NetScaler, Atlassian Confluence, and network edge devices from Fortinet and Cisco. And what if a victim refuses to pay? The chats reveal a chilling contingency. Affiliates discussed selling stolen data, not just on dark web markets, but directly to competitors of the victim organization, or even to foreign entities. This is cybercrime at its most calculated and predatory. We must remain vigilant. We must understand their playbook to defend against them.